End results aside, we are not happy. You hacked Justice League systems, disobeyed direct orders, and endangered lives. You will not be doing this again.
I am sorry, but we will. We did good work here tonight. The work you trained us to do. Together, on our own, we forged something powerful. Important.
But this is about your treatment at the hall, the three of you.
The four of us. And it's not.
Batman, we're ready to use what you taught us. Or why teach us at all?
Why let them tell us what to do? It's simple. Get on board, or get out of the way.
Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Reggie here, back with you for another video. Welcome back, house fam. And man, oh man, do I have a video for you guys today. As you can see from the title and the thumbnail, I want to talk about the rise and fall of one of the greatest and most epic fails in cartoon history. I want to talk about Young Justice. I want to talk about what made Young Justice great, what made it suck, and the downfall that led to it. Because I hands down believe that Young Justice is the biggest fall from grace from any superhero cartoon in history. And today, I want to talk about it. But before we get into it, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe if you like this type of content. And without any further ado, let's drop the intro. Alright, man, I'm gonna let y'all know right now, today's gonna be a rant. Today's gonna be a rant video. And I know y'all don't like it when I rant. You want me to make smart takes, have wise opinions. You want me to have deep intellectual thoughts about a character or story in a cartoon. But man, fuck all that, because I'm tight. I'm tight because I loved Young Justice. Like, Young Justice, I thought was the chosen one. I thought Young Justice was the prodigal son. Like, real talk. First, we had Justice League. Then you had Teen Titans. So after both of those legendary golden shows, we got Young Justice, and I was hyped. Especially coming off season 1 of Young Justice, I thought it was the next one. I thought it was the prodigal son, the chosen one. But then after that, Young Justice turns out to be the biggest letdown, the ultimate diamond to dirt, the most epic fail and fall from grace in DCAU history. And I know, some of you are probably like, damn, Reggie, you ain't gotta go that hard. And I say to that, fuck you. I ain't going hard enough. Because every time I think about this show, I get tight. But to explain what I mean by that, we gotta start from greatness. We gotta start with the OG season 1. But let me start by saying this. I'm gonna shoot Young Justice a little bit of bail. I can say that season 1 of Young Justice is the pinnacle of teenage superhero storytelling. Not only that, I think it's one of the pinnacle season 1s of any superhero cartoon, period. I would put season 1 of Young Justice up with any season 1 of any superhero cartoon and defy you to find me a season better. The reason why I think Young Justice season 1 is so great is because you can tell the storytellers put real and genuine effort into this show. Not only just because of the fact that half of the characters we already knew with Robin, Kid Flash, and Superboy, 3 of the main characters from the team were either just created for the show or were really unknown characters that no one even knew existed. Calder's Aqualad and Artemis Green Arrow sidekick were created just for this show. And Miss Martian was introduced in the comics a couple of years before, but she only had a couple of appearances. She was generally an unknown character. And because of season 1 of Young Justice, these characters got so popular that they were introduced into the comics. What made people fall in love with season 1 of Young Justice so much was the storytelling and the character building. So number 1, the storytelling was phenomenal. Even though for the most part the episodes were pretty standalone, every episode had interconnective tissue with each other and told a complete story. So they can have some random story about how Robin and the rest of the team go to Haley's circus because Robin finds out that there's a bunch of crimes that have been going around with this old home. Have the story be completely isolated for the most part, but still have little things and connective tissue that connects connects to the greater overall story. And even with that, have amazing character growth and implications that happen to the characters that leave a lasting imprint that go on to the next episode and so on. Every single episode of Young Justice was a character-focused episode where we would get the greater team as a whole, but the specific episode was focused on a character giving us their opinion, their point of view, their feelings, and watching them grow as a person. We got to see these sidekicks not as sidekicks, but as members of a team trying to grow and become who they're supposed to be. We saw the close personal relationships between each of them, the bonds that they shared as a team. Season 1 made every character feel unique and special and gave them their own personality. Watching these characters struggle and grow and deal with their issues is really what made us love the show, because we felt like we were going through the struggles with them. You think I'm bullshitting? I defy you to watch the two-parter Failsafe and Disordered from season 1. The team goes through a traumatic situation where all of them die in a dreamlike sequence. And in the following episode, they get therapy from Black Canary, and it is one of the most real, touching, introspective, and humbling episodes I've ever seen from a cartoon. I think it was the first cartoon to really express mental health in its show. The mental health of teenage superheroes. Like, who would have thought that Robin, a 9-year-old at the time, fighting crime with a grown man, going around the city fighting the most evil and despicable villains in all of history, might need some therapy. Season 1 of Young Justice is fucking goated, and I don't care what anybody would say. I don't think anybody would really disagree with me, but I hold that season as one of the best cartoon seasons of all time. And then we get into season 2. Now, to be fair, before I go in, I like season 2. It's definitely not better than season 1, but I like season 2. But if I'm being honest, in all retrospect, season 2 is where we started to take a turn for the worst. But to start off with the good, I liked season 2's story. It had good character development, both for the older characters and for the newer cast. I liked how they gave Blue Beetle some shine and made a story essentially based around his mythos. I loved the storyline with Calder finding out that Black Manta was his father. I loved the whole double agent subplot and the plot with the light. And of course, I gotta say I love my boy Nightwing. All of the good qualities of season 2 actually blinded us to the bad. It made us not really take into effect of all of the shitty things that they did between season 1 and 2. Because I remember when season 2 came out and they did the time skip. I'm not against time skips personally, but they have to be done right. See, the way to do a good time skip is for the characters to separate. Their powers may change and the way that they look may change, but they're separated. And the reason why that's important is because when they come back together, it's not like they had this whole adventure and the viewing audience, us, didn't get to see it. So all of the things that we learn, all of the things that we see now that they're back as a team, we're all learning it together with the people in the show. So it doesn't feel like we skipped a beat. It doesn't feel like we had this whole plot or storyline that happened and we have no idea, like we're not in on the joke. And that's what they did with Young Justice. In between season 1 and 2, they actually had a 2-year time skip. And I remember during that 2-year time skip, I felt like I missed an entire season. All of the things that happened between season 1 and season 2 were missed. They all experienced it, but we didn't see it. We all saw it in an afterthought, so it felt like we missed an entire season, and that shit is trash. And again, although I like season 2, they added a whole bunch of new characters, which seems to be a trend as the seasons go on. They add all of these new characters and forget to do what we loved about the show initially. They stopped paying attention to the characters we fell in love with, the characters that we watched grow. The season was good enough where we didn't pay attention to the bad. And even though I liked the season, I felt like season 2 should have been season 3. But even in season 2, as minimal as it may be, they dropped storylines, dropped subplots. They paid little or no attention to the characters that we actually loved and wanted to know more about, and gave too much attention to storylines that we didn't care about while doing lazy wrap-ups to storylines that we actually did care about. And in addition to that, they added more characters. But again, I like season 2 of Young Justice. I think season 2 is still a good season. It's just that the good of season 2 didn't outweigh the bad. But then we get into season 3, which starts to be the complete drop off. Everything bad from season 2 got multiplied by 10 for season 3. Now season 3 starts with another time skip. So again, you already know some bullshit happened in between season 2 and season 3 that we not gonna know shit about. But still, season 3 actually started aight. The storyline was around metahuman trafficking. All of the metahumans that were started to being created in season 2, in season 3, now they're being trafficked all over the world and all over the galaxy, and people using them for soldiers and weapons of war. That to me is a fantastic storyline and something that you can get into. But instead of focusing on that storyline, instead of focusing on the characters that we already have established and the metahuman characters that were created in season 2 who would be perfect for this new season 3, we're gonna have a season of 5 new characters that nobody cares about. And one of the main issues with Young Justice as a show is the continuing growing cast. You could have had regular established characters who are actually going through stuff, dealing with this new plot point and giving us character development on them, rather than giving us a whole new team with characters like Geoforce. Like, y'all just clearly dropped the ball. It's like y'all didn't care anymore. And then finally, when we get to season 4, if season 3 is when y'all dropped the ball, season 4, y'all went into pure hot fucking garbage. It was just missed opportunity, dropped storylines, dropped plots, picking up plots we don't care about, and getting more characters. Where we should have got a continuation of the metahuman plot, you give us a whole plot about the Legion and the future and Kryptonians. Why do we care? Disconnected plots, bad character development, little to no time with the characters that we actually loved and grew up with. This was complete hot garbage. Young Justice is quite literally the biggest drop-off, the biggest superhero fail, the biggest diamond to dirt in cartoon history. The reason why I get so mad is because Young Justice was really that show. Season 1 was beloved by all. It was really supposed to be the chosen one. The one that should have picked up the torch right after Justice League and Teen Titans. It should have been Young Justice. Season 1 of Young Justice is goated to me. I love the storyline. I love the characters. I love the plot. And I love the fact that we were able to see these characters grow. It really felt like we were a part of the team. And then you give us all of that and lead off to this. My passion comes from my disappointment. My disappointment of what could have been. But all I can think about is what never will be. But maybe you guys feel different. I feel like Young Justice is the biggest drop-off in cartoon history. I can't think of a show that started off with such heights and then got to such lows. Comment below and let me know what you think of the show. But with that, I got nothing left for this video. So, peace.